What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I got a little bit more to add to the whole, narrative about COVID and how it's affecting the NFL and stuff like that. Because there's this interesting report that came out that I really want to give you guys the details on. But before I do that, I just want to mention that the updates that I gave you guys in my last video about, training camp rosters being cut and practice squads potentially being expanded and so on and so forth. That is not yet official, but that is still looking like that is going to be the NFL's, course of action. But anyway, just real quick to give you this update from this report that I just saw today. We'll just go ahead and get right into it. So the report is NFL team not finalizing contracts over fears of canceled season. So in other words, there's one team apparently, just one team that is not even finalizing their contracts. So I'm guessing like their rookie contracts, their undrafted free agents. I don't know exactly to what it extends, but look, and the reason, which we'll get to in a minute, is because, as it says, he fears that the season's going to be canceled, which totally makes sense. But let's go ahead and get into these details. The COVID-19 pandemic has impacted just about every facet of life over the past several months, NFL contracts included. Albert Breer, real quick though, before I get into this though, this just goes to show you what I've been saying this whole time about how the NFL and the owners only give a shit about their money, right? So when they cut roster sizes for training camp, it's primarily about money, not safety. Even when they add to the practice squad, it's about money, not safety. The advertising they're going to put on the first 8 rows, money. The fact that they're going to try and pack fans into stadiums, money. It's the fact that they're going to have a season to begin with, money. It's just all about money, 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 and that's all they care about. And this is just, evidence of that. So anyway, Albert Breer of SI.com Sports Illustrated reported Thursday that one agent told me on Wednesday that a team executive leveled with him recently and said they would not allow for a deal to be finalized because the owner feared the season could be canceled if the pandemic worsens, which it will, and he didn't want to pay out cash he may not be able to recoup. So, if you noticed in my previous video, I said that what the NFL should do if they actually did give a shit about player safety, coaching staffs, fan safety, all of that, is cancel the season. As far as fans go, obviously you find a way to recoup the season tickets, right? You reimburse that, whatever. Stuff like that, right? For the fans, you do as much as you can for the fans. I know a lot of fans are going to hate this, but sad day for us if we don't get to watch football. There are more important things like, people's safety and their lives. So, but then as far as the players go, pay them their fucking contracts, bro, because that's their livelihood, right? The fans, it's just entertainment. For them, it's their actual livelihood. So he's admitting this. This is through the grapevine. It's, a reporter talking about another reporter talking about an agent telling him or getting news from a team's executive that team's owner. So it's like several people through the grapevine, but that owner is essentially admitting through this grapevine that, yeah, man, I don't want to pay these guys if the season's not going to be there because I want the money. Fuck them. Fuck if they don't have a fucking paycheck. Fuck if they go homeless or whatever, or can't feed their families during this pandemic. I'm a billionaire, but fuck them if they can't pay their bills or whatever during the pandemic. I need to make sure my money's good. Okay. Breer used the example of Cincinnati Bengals cornerback Trey Waynes, who agreed to a 3-year, $42 million deal with the team this offseason that included $15 million in guaranteed money. But the Bengals aren't allowing their team doctor to perform physicals on their players at his private practice. And with NFL facilities remaining closed, that meant Waynes couldn't have his physical with the team, and his contract isn't finalized. See, and then they're using, little scapegoat tools and methods to, oh, well, he couldn't have his contract finalized, and what are we going to do? Team facilities are closed. Well, you could have had the doctor be at his thing, the fucking whatever it was that they just said. His private practice, right? So, I mean, it's just bullshit. It's excuses, and it's just because of the money. Anyway, let me get through this, though. Hence, he's still waiting on that $15 million. It should be noted that Breer reported Waynes is pretty sensitive to how his concern over a $15 million payment might come off, understanding the job situation in our country right now. In fact, that's why he didn't wind up talking to me for this story. Other teams have taken similar tactics, ostensibly to avoid paying out guaranteed money. There are no rules in the CBA against doing so, leaving players like Wayne stuck in limbo. Of course there's not, because the CBA, I mean, the NFLPA has proven to not even really, push for what's best for their players. They oftentimes, more often than not, including with this past CBA, and including with a lot of these fucking, they're just like passing these measures so far that the NFL is putting out like it's going to be all fucking hunky-dory. No, they just side with the fucking NFL and the owners far more often. Why? Because they are powerful, because they have the money, etc., etc. Anyway, Wayne's agent Brian Murphy told Breer he's advised Waynes not to do any football drills, not to get out there on the field, certainly don't do any live drills against other people. Murphy continued, he signed a nice offseason contract to go to the Bengals, be the man in their secondary, make a major contribution, and so under ordinary circumstances, he'd be killing himself to get in the best shape possible. He did do all the Zoom calls. Obviously, there's no physical activity there, and he'd really want to be in the best shape of his life so he can play the best football of his life. But because of the Bengals' decision, he can't do that. So yeah, he's got to be creative. He's got to find different ways to be at peak physical performance. But assuming he's not doing the one-on-one drills, assuming he's not battling other players, he's just not going to be where he otherwise would be in a normal year. Which obviously that plays into other things, but that's just another reason why it makes sense for the NFL to just cancel the season, because there are going to be so many players that, I mean, the entire fucking NFL is just not going to be ready for this. And then guess what's going to happen? If they do play, injuries are going to spike because guys are not going to be physically prepared for it. It makes sense, though it could also lead to players hitting training camps at less than optimal shape and could produce injuries down the line. It's not a great situation for players like Wayne's, but with cases of the coronavirus spiking in certain parts of the United States, pretty much the entire country at this point, the looming possibility of a delayed or canceled 2020 season can't be ignored. That appears to have led some NFL teams to find creative ways to avoid paying out owed money. It's unlikely the league's players and NFLPA will forget which teams did so, however. Yeah, but I guarantee you the further we go along, all of them are going to do it. And, I mean, look, bro, it's just another disgusting data point that proves the things that I've been saying this entire time. And look, man, people don't ever listen, I mean, I've lost, viewership. People are not viewing. I haven't really lost subscribers. I've stayed exactly pretty much where I was at, but people aren't watching my shit because I'm not talking about the flowery bullshit, the fucking, oh, look at the depth at tight end, or how does fucking Cam Newton change the AFC East. It doesn't, because there's not going to be a fucking season. It doesn't make a fucking difference. Okay? And there are far bigger things to fucking talk about. Anyway, whatever. Look, I don't care, bro, because at the end of the day, I gotta stay true to me, and I gotta make sure that I'm giving you guys the most important, the most relevant, and factual data, too. Not just, the biggest topics, but also, just the facts about it, the reality, the data. And I'm sorry, but I'm not going to just sit here and make stupid, flowery videos of bullshit, irrelevant stuff that's not gonna fucking matter when the season doesn't even fucking play out, or if it does, people are fucking dying because of it. So, I mean, sorry, but I'm not sorry. If, people can't handle that, or if they don't want to hear it, I got to do my best, and I got to stay true, and I got to give you the truth, the facts, the reality, and all that stuff. So if people hate on it and don't want to watch it, so be it. It's not going to change me or change my approach or stop me from doing the right thing. And look, you know, frankly, and this will be the last thing I say, because, you know, I've talked about how the media, obviously the mainstream media, is very much complicit. I told you about the that tweet that Matt Infante put out the other day about how he's super excited that Tom Garfinkel is, you know, pushing, and the Dolphins are pushing not just for a season in 2020, but having fans there. And then I replied to him, or didn't reply, but quote tweeted him and said, not only is he a moron, but he's a disgusting moron, or whatever, something like that. And then he said something about how, oh, I'm always in his mentions, which isn't true. But the point of that is that he's another one of those media guys who's perpetuating this bullshit narrative that everything's going to be fine. So he's a disgusting pig and a piece of shit. But, you know, I mean, even the other Dolphins YouTubers, all of the videos that I've seen that come out from him, I haven't watched the videos. So to be fair, I don't know if they mention it at all. I'm sure they do at some point, like they have to. I can't imagine that they don't at all. But none of the headlines I've seen from any of the other Dolphins YouTubers are anything about it, right? They're just talking strictly about, like, oh, what happens with Cam Newton now that he's with the fucking Patriots and blah 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 blah. Who fucking cares if there's no 2020 season? Or even if there is, who fucking cares when people are dying because of it? Anyway, whatever. So look, Brian, I'm the only one. If you guys want to hear the truth and the reality, make sure you get up in my channel, because I'm the only one that brings you that shit. So anyway, with that, I am going to get up out of here. I hope you guys appreciate my perspective. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comment section. And of course, as always, make sure you follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.